Yes, I know we're in October, and no, contrary to popular belief, I haven't gone mad. Hi, my name's Dan, welcome to King Dweeb Books. I have decided to film my August wrap-up and August book haul in one video, barring the 3 books I read and bought that I have lent out. I don't think I'm going to see them again, so I'm going to have to buy them again. So let's get down to it. So first off, I'm going to do my August book haul, and the first 4 books I bought in August are, just to let you know, they are not in any particular order except for the ones that are part of a series, like these first 4. The first 4 books I got, as I've just mentioned, are all part of a series, and they are the Maze Runner series. These books were dead cheap for the lot of them. They're £7.99 each, and they were meant to be £32 something, and they were all £9.99. So that was a bargain, and wanting to read them all. And the books in the series are The Maze Runner, The Scorch Trials, The Death Cure, and the prequel, The Kill Order. If you've seen my previous videos, you will notice that I have already read The Maze Runner and do own a copy in this cover of The Scorch Trials. However, I saw all of them for dead cheap and I decided to get them. So I got them all. The next book I picked up was Insignia by S.J. Kincaid. This is the first in a trilogy, I do believe. I think it's the Insignia trilogy. And for a start, this is a floppy American paperback. I don't know anything about this book, and I think I'll keep it like that, so I'll go into it without knowing anything. The next book I picked up in August was, and to be honest, it was honestly the book I was waiting for in August, and that was Skullduggery Pleasant and the Dying of the Light. I pre-ordered this months before it came out. I didn't actually know that it was going to come in the limited edition foily, shiny, shadowy edition, all black and white. And although I did know that it was going to have this extra page in it that was signed by the author. Honestly, I was waiting so long for this book, and it honestly was amazing. Brilliant series if you can pick them up. The next book I bought was The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This was also the August Booksplosion book of the month. That's a bit of a gobful, so decided to have a massive big long name for it there, guys. It was good. I'm going to talk about it in the next part of this video in my August wrap-up. The next book I bought, and I honestly have been hearing so many good things about this series, and that is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This is the first book in the Throne of Glass series. From what I can gather from it, it's basically about this assassin called Selena, I think, and she's in these mines and she's been forced to work there because she's an assassin. I think I've already said that. She's an assassin and she got caught. And basically, a young captain, I'm reading this off of the back now, a young captain offers her a deal, freedom in return for one huge sacrifice, and Selena must represent the prince in her to the death tournament, blah 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 blah, fighting the most gifted thieves. Live or die, Selena will be set free. Win or lose, she's about to discover her true destiny. And apparently there's a love triangle or something, or love in it at some point, as can be expected in a young adult world. The next book I got was 1984 by George Orwell. I know that Ariel from Ariel Bissett loves George Orwell, and I cannot wait to get into it. I think this is one of the first dystopian novels. I think it's dystopian, and I cannot wait to get into it. these covers are so nice. The Penguin Modern Classics editions look so nice, and I'm wanting to pick. If I do like this book, I will be picking up more George Orwell books. Plus, also some more classics. I want to get into classics, not just George Orwell. It's just that I saw this in BookTube videos and I decided to pick it up. Now, the next two books are part of a series. I was tempted to pick up the third one, but this was the month before my month-long book buying ban, and these two books are The Knife of Never Letting Go and The Ask and the Answer, both by Patrick Ness, and the first and the second books in the Chaos Walking trilogy. Now, I love the covers of these editions. I don't know if you can see it when light catches it, but it's got words on it and all around it. I mean, that kind of plays in the book itself, like that there. I don't know if you can see it. And also, I think these editions, I don't know if further editions as well have the short stories in them that like either come just before each book or just after each book. Like, I think this one comes just before The Ask and the Answer, I think. I don't really know, I'll have to look into it. But basically this is about a boy called Todd who lives in Prentice Town, where everyone can hear everyone else's thoughts, and then he finds this place where, this little patch where everything is silent and he can't hear anyone else's thoughts, and yeah, I cannot wait to get into it. Now, this next author I have seen on BookTube, and I've also seen this book on BookTube, and that is Noggin by John Corey Whaley. From my perspective, this book sounds weird, and I've also seen that other BookTubers think it sounds weird as well. Basically, this boy called Travis has his head cut off and put in a freezer, and 5 years later it's reattached to his body, or someone else's body, and everything else around him has aged 5 years, but he's stayed the same. He's still 16. I think he's 16, is he? I think. I don't know. Oh yeah, still 16. And yeah, I'm hoping it's as weird as it is, but good weird, not bad weird. Getting out to the last two here, and this one I've seen around on BookTube, and it's The Diviners by Libba Bray. It's set in the 1920s, and this cover looks so nice. I think there's some kind of paranormalcy around it. It's massive, and I hope it's good for something so thick. But I haven't really seen much about it. I haven't heard much about it. I've just seen that it's good. I heard that it's good, so I hope I enjoy it. Now, the final book I have is a bit of a child book. I think it's the the illustrated edition, and the film has started filming. I think either that or they're just doing the casting. I don't know whether it started filming yet or not. But this book is A Monster Calls, also by Patrick Ness, from an original idea by Siobhan Dowd. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this book, and basically it's about a monster that shows up after midnight to this boy's house, and basically it's not the monster he's been waiting for, and I can't wait to get into it. There are some beautiful illustrations in here. My favourite one is a little bit creepy, if I can find it, just bear with me a couple of minutes. This one is my favourite. It's a little bit creepy, but it's so gorgeous. I cannot wait to get into this book. I was asked by my mum that whether or not it was just a book full of pictures, but it is an actual storybook, and I cannot wait to get into it. And now on to the books I read in the month of August. I mean, I've only got 2 of them at the minute, because the other 3 are out and about on their travels. I expect them to be back at like 2 o'clock in the morning, off the face. basically, drunk as skunks. The first book that I read was The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. As I mentioned, it was the Booksplosion book of the month for August. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I didn't give it, I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It had a sense of magic from it all around it, and it was really good. Basically, it's about this circus that only comes during the night, and is only open during the night, and then leaves at midnight. Or is it? I don't know whether it's leaves at midnight. It's only there until midnight. It was really good. I mean, there were parts that were a little bit slow, but the characters were so good. I really enjoyed them. I really had that feel. I didn't feel connected to them as that I understood them. I mean, it was really weird. It was so nice and magical, and just that air about it. But it was brilliant. It was. I think I'm just going to keep calling it brilliant. It were amazing. It was really nice. It made you feel warm inside. I mean, the ending, at the end, it were a little bit upsetting, and I did cry a little bit. But the very end, it was so nice, and it kind of rounds it off where one of the main characters, or one of the characters, is the person that's narrating the whole story. It is so lovely, and it was just a really good book. I'd really recommend it if you can pick it up. And yeah, it was just really nice. Now, this was the last book I read in August, and I am going to go into spoiler details about it. So if you don't want to hear if you've got up to this and you're still waiting to read this and you're really wanting to read it, then I suggest that you don't watch the rest of this video. I'll do that little thing where it like goes into a new part of the video, and then that's the key moment where you go and don't watch it. And I'm taking this off because it's annoying. This book, I hope there's no people that's not wanting to spoil here. This book was amazing. The ending was just so lovely and so unskullduggery. It was just so nice, and it was a good way. I was very happy with this ending. I mean, I honestly thought that it was Stephanie from the beginning. It was Stephanie, the reflection Stephanie, not Valkyrie, that it was at the end. Because there are a couple of parts in it where it goes to the future to look at Stephanie or Valkyrie, as it turns out, in the future, where they're speaking to, is it Daniel, I think? I don't know. I think so. Just give me 2 minutes. Bear with. Miranda, bear with. Yeah, Danny, who she speaks with, and I honestly thought Skullduggery had died. I honestly thought Skullduggery had died, because it was like it just cut from there to the new, to the future where it was like that, and I thought, do you want to meet it? And when she said, do you want to meet him? It was like, well, he's dead. How can you meet him? He's like actually gone and died. And I honestly thought this was going to come true, but this was just a vision. It were another vision. Oh my god. Darkess was played. She was played. I honestly thought she'd ended world. I honestly thought she had, but it turns out she's just she's living in a vision now, and she ain't gonna get to nobody. Oh my god, that was just so good. She's living in a vision, and it was just brilliant. And I think it could have been a bit longer. The way when Valkyrie's parents found out that she was magic, rather than just watching that. I mean, it kind of felt a little bit rushed for him to actually get in on the action. I thought I wanted him to react a little bit more, but I'm actually happy that they found out, and she's not having to hide who she is and what she does from them. And I mean, I know that it was dangerous for them to know, but at least now they know, and I think they're happy with it. I think they can live with that as well. I don't think Jeffrey Scrutinus actually. I don't think she got Jeffrey to wipe the mines, but it was good. And Gordon leaving the series completely. It was awful. That was awful. Where Darkesser's consciousness went into his touchstone or whatever stone and erased him. Oh no, that was evil. Derek Landy, if you somehow at some point in the very near future or the very distant future you watch this video, I think you've got it, but I think you've got it from a lot of people. But I hate you for that. That were awful. But yeah, I mean, if you haven't read this book, if you haven't read this series, pick it up. I mean, obviously the first one is Skullduggery Pleasant. The original Skullduggery Pleasant. Pick up this book series. It is an amazing series. I mean, it's just magic, basically, and wit and sarcasm and comedy and horror and action and playing skullduggery, basically, and you'll love it. You'll honestly love it. So that's it for this video, and those are all the books I bought in the month of August, and those are the 2 books I've got with me at the minute that I read in August. The other 3 will have to wait for a little bit. But anyway, I'll leave the links to my Goodreads reviews of those 2 books in the description below, and please like this video if you liked it, comment if you read any of those books and tell me what they're like, give me your thoughts on them, and I'll see you with another video soon. Goodbye.